is One Pen in Two Hands, Robin Barrow and Alex Cronin. Both writers from a young age, Robin and Alex met at Rhodes College and developed their unique co-writing voice. They are thankful that no matter what, there's always another person in the world who cares about their characters as much as they do. Oh, that's sweet. All right, Quinn Connor, the speaking voice, take it away.
All right, thanks, Kate. Hi, everyone. I'm Alex. I am, as she said, one half of Quinn Connor. And our book, Cicadas Sing of Summer Graves, actually just came out 3 days ago, so this is really exciting for us. It is a book full of ghosts and set in the summertime at a beautiful lake, a lake that happens to be haunted. So the passage that we're going to be reading from today centers around one of our main characters, June. June has found an abandoned graveyard at the lake, and she has taken it upon herself to start cleaning it up and planting new flowers. But one day, just as it's coming to life, she receives an unexpected ghostly visitor alone among the gravestones. June stopped at the edge of the clearing, upturned dirt and new flowers sprouting between gravestones. She had half of them cleared off now, the names becoming visible again. There were beautiful flowering vines clinging to the trees and up the wings of a single weather-worn angel statue. Sunflowers peeked through on the edge, and spiky purple flowers, each with an individual trumpet. None of it had been there before. Just like that, all of her frustration, all of her cramped anger, it dissipated like mist facing the sun. She knelt beside the angel, touching gentle silk petals. "You don't look like the picture of milkweed on those seeds I bought," she said. "What are you?" The smell was familiar, like warm summer evenings, like lingerie. Jasmine, she realized. Jasmine, what are you doing here, gorgeous? The angel offered no answers. June stood again. There was no true order to the new growth that she was planting in the graveyard. It wasn't clean or insensible rows, but mixed, blending, swirling, all the roots tangled under the earth. It was as wild and random as a bar fight. It wasn't a garden planted among gravestones. This unexpected upshooting was something else. It was chaos. "What are any of us doing here?" she asked. At the edge of the cemetery, the tributary of the lake shrugged with the far-off passing of a jet ski, ruffling lily pads the size of dinner plates. And maybe it was her imagination, but the jasmine seemed to shiver. Surrounded by new growth, June picked a spot for the primroses. She imagined them, little patches in the shade around a lion statue that she'd found at the antique shop and relocated. She bent until her lower back ached, cleaning moss off of the next row of gravestones and shoving aside undergrowth. She had no real gardening experience. The closest she had ever gotten to a garden was the apartment across the courtyard from the one that she and Mom had shared, where an elderly couple grew orchids, stately and ever so cool, like skinny women in tailored pantsuits. But sometimes she would sit, looking at a patch of tiny white flowers and think, those could do with some more sunlight. Or she'd see a coil of vine around the feet of an angel statue and think, that could use a little bit of fertilizer to really grow. There was a spindly tree growing in the sun near the water's edge. Its leaves flourished fat and green, bigger than her hand, and June knew that if she waited long enough, soon the little late-season green bulbs would ripen and she could bring Aunt Eliza the fresh figs. Growth could be violence ignited by the heating earth. It could be the selfishness of the race to the sun and the agony of new birth. It was aggressive colonialism. The hungry way gooseneck gobbled up every bit of earth. People forgot because flowers were so pretty, but chaos was a blooming thing too. Chaos also wanted to grow. It wanted to spread. But it didn't have to be violent, selfish, aggressive. Maybe this growth could be kind. June dug deeper under the cracked, warm dirt to the moist earth underneath and felt hours slipping away like dewdrops. She pictured the new growth that was to come. Black rosebuds, golden cornelias, and huge lily pads flowering at midnight, and something fragrant and vibrant blossomed inside her chest. She didn't fight it. If it hadn't been so quiet, however, she would have missed it. In the corner of her eye, she glimpsed something that was no leaf or petal, but the figure of a person. There was someone in her garden. June paused, hands on one of the primroses, a wrinkled little shallot half buried in the earth. There had been no sound, no twigs cracking under someone's feet, no sigh of moving branches, no polite greeting, nothing at all. It wasn't movement that had caught June's attention because the person hadn't walked up to her. They had not been there until in an instant they were. The two bare, muddy feet shifted and walked closer. June kept her eyes trained on her flowers. She did not want to face whatever was with her now. She had been alone today, she'd been sure of it, and now she was not. "What are you doing here?" the voice snapped. June kept her head down, breathing through the anxious alarm like an egg was stuck in her throat. "Planting flowers," she said after a moment. Bare knees stopped close to her, and June steadied her fingers. Cold wrath rushed over her from the figure. Why? "I don't mean any harm. I'm sorry." June was at a loss for what to do, only certain she didn't want to look up, not when she didn't know what she would see. Perhaps June was intruding. She was Goldilocks, stepping into someone's home, pulling weeds and planting flowers with good intentions, but not permission. The air at her neck was cold. Her skin turned clammy. The feeling didn't relent, but it didn't intensify. "When will they grow?" the person asked. June swallowed. "You're supposed to bury primroses early in the fall, let them sleep all winter, then they come up in spring." Her eyes watered, and she blinked it back. "I'll go. I can go. I shouldn't be here. I'm sorry." "If you go, you won't get to see it grow," the girl reminded her. And something in the air had shifted. The pressure of cold winds eased. The storm averted, June's lungs filled with warm, sweet breath. Now the girl seemed pensive, almost curious. "Don't you want to see it grow?" "I don't think I can stay." June dared to dig another hole for the next primrose, trowel making soft, dry sounds. It seemed allowed now. "But I hope they grow." With bloodless fingers, heart still thrumming, June interred the next primrose under that heavy attention, until the girl spoke again. "I've buried something too, near here." There was only a misty silence, mournful and encompassing like the scent of carnations. Not everything that gets buried grows. "Maybe it's not in the right place. It could be getting too much sun, or it could be wrong for this type of soil. What is it?" June pressed the next bulb into the ground, patted soil around it, and left it there to sleep. The girl let out a soft sigh, strange and quick, a mature kind of a sound. It was a box. June's hands, almost of their own accord, froze, picturing the heavy frame of the box that she had found buried. The light chinabone tinkle from something inside it. But her voice stayed light. She kept it light. "Oh yeah?" she asked. "What was in the box?" There was no answer, only mournful silence. When she dared to glance at where the feet had been standing, there was nothing, not a single bent blade of grass, much less a person. June raised her head. The garden was empty. It seemed to breathe in and then out with her, and the lake rippled, offering no reply.